What up, weirdos? It's your boy Raindrop, Raindog, Rain Drizzle, and my co-host, co-captain, Cole, Conspirator, Uncle Juju.
What is up, babies?
How's everybody doing? Welcome back to BXTV, aka Back from Hell, your Spotify podcast and YouTube now. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that down below. You already know. Turn your notifications on as well, because we will be updating randomly on YouTube, but at the moment, Spotify is once a week. It's not always on Sunday, Monday, but we try to aim for Sunday, Monday. It's East Coast time, so like 12 a.m.-ish on those days, maybe during the day sometime on Monday. But yeah, make sure you follow us, do all that, and remember, we tell you everything you didn't know you needed to know.
Smash that subscribe button.
Yes, please do. Do all that. Get us some subscribers, get us some more followers, spread the content, send it to your uncle, your aunt, your bootlicking brother, I don't care.
We want everybody in the Brain Dead cinematic universe.
Yeah, you know? But yeah, welcome back, dudes.
Welcome.
Juju, how are you? You good?
I'm doing good. I'm chilling, relaxing, finally get to de-stress and hang out.
Know how that one goes. I definitely feel like I was stressed earlier today, and then I actually went to the nerd store, Second and Charles, and like my heaven basically, and it made me feel tremendously better. I don't know why, but it did. But with that being said, me and Juju like to always start a thing here called Comic Book of the Day. We each pick a comic book and kind of put it on a chopping block on a 1 through 10 scale for art and for the writing. We like to judge them separately. We don't think it's fair because sometimes there's more effort in the one or the other.
Yep.
So we like to give you guys the chance to be like yes or no. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That being said, though, Juju, you want to go first? I know you're about to probably say it. My bad.
Yeah. My comic book of the week, I picked something that I haven't in a while. It's also not part of any continuing narrative, so it's kind of a standalone, and that is Sandman number 19, Midsummer's Night Dream.
This is by DC.
Yes, and if you give me 1 second, I can pull up the artists. It was illustrated by Kelly Jones, Charles Vest, and Colleen Doran, with Michael Jones III, and colored by Robbie Bush and Steve Orliff.
Okay.
And the reason why I picked this one is because, in all honesty, it is probably the best Sandman story that Neil Gaiman's ever come up with. And just a brief synopsis: Morpheus meets a young Will Shakespeare,
aka Sandman. Dream.
Yeah, he's got so many fucking names. He meets a young Will Shakespeare while he's meeting his friend at the bar, and strikes a deal with Shakespeare that he will make him the most famous writer of all time if he writes 2 plays for him. So the first play is A Midsummer's Night Dream, and it is basically a story within a story. So they're telling the story of A Midsummer's Night's Dream while it's being performed for the actual elves and magical shit that the play is about. So the actors think that they're playing to a non-existent audience, but they're actually there watching the play. And Midsummer's Night Dream is probably one of my favorite Shakespeare plays, so it's kind of cool to see that juxtaposition of like, kind of like how in Game of Thrones, where they did the play about like all the War of the Five Kings, and they get some shit right and some shit wrong.
Yeah.
The art in this honestly is a solid 10, because the creature design is fucking phenomenal, and you have this idea of actors playing fairies, so they have this human interpretation of what they are versus like what the reality is. And the writing is absolutely spot on, solid 10, because they pull actual Shakespeare and Neil Gaiman, mash it together, and it is a beautiful fucking book. Just the way that it is written, the way that it is drawn, the story was just like, for me as a Shakespeare fan, it's everything I wanted.
Okay,
Um,
hell yeah.
and I'm not the only one who says that it is one of the best Sandman books out there. I had to look it up right quick before we started this just to verify that that claim is true. So
Okay, hell yeah. I like that you did your research and checked the facts. It's always
yeah,
good. So you said you give them what, 10 out of 10 on both?
10 out of 10 on both. I reread it today after listening to the audiobook. And I was like, I know I'm not supposed to do Sandman because I do a lot of Sandman, but it's like I gotta spotlight this one.
Yeah, yeah, no, you're good. All right, hell yeah. Big one to follow up. Big
Yeah.
one to follow up. I don't know if mine is as staple. I mean, maybe a little bit. It's Tony S. Daniels. If you guys don't know, he's done a lot of shit. A fuck ton of shit. I can't even name all of it, but he's done a lot. But mine is Deathstroke God of Wars Volume 1.
Yes.
I know we're not supposed to do it like this. I'm supposed to pick a comic, but I bought the. I mean, it is a comic.
Yeah.
I just bought it in a trade paperback. But it's written and penciled by Tony S. Daniels, if I'm correct, and Sandu Flore and Tamu Moray. I don't know.
Yeah.
Y'all can pronounce those how you want.
Sandu Flore. It
Either
almost looks like it says Tamu Money.
yeah,
That's
e-
how I read it.
either way though, I love Deathstroke, and I've been looking for this bundle because last time I saw it was $30. It was the mask
Yeah.
and the book, and I was like, yo, I want this. I want to read. I want to get more into the Deathstroke comics, mainly the '90s ones. But
Yeah.
I was like, I'll take this. I opened a middle page and saw something I probably shouldn't have, but it looked fucking awesome. So I was like, yo, I'm buying this.
Yeah.
And basically what it is Deathstroke. He Tiggs, who's his middleman, he does all of his handling. You know what I mean? If there's a
Yeah.
deal, they fucking like it's through Tiggs. Like he does not meet with anybody but Tiggs, and they're the only people who know they are the only two people who know each other's identities, like in the
Yeah.
underground world. Like he knows Slade is Deathstroke, and Deathstroke knows who Tig is, and basically, it's just the it's a bloodbath off rip. Like,
Yeah.
basically though, they're going and hunting down this dude Possum, who's basically like a Slade, but like kind of like more intense, like on the regenerating and like the way he is. And when they go to fight him, he meets up with this girl Angelica. She was
Angelica.
yeah, she's like an agent, fucking badass bitch. Like not an agent, but like she's like a fucking underground demon
Yeah.
basically. Either way though, they go to Russia to go find Possum, and he thinks he kills Possum, and he doesn't, and he ends up fighting all these dudes, and basically he wakes up like in this random fucking building. And long story short, he meets Red Fury, this guy with the red F on his face mask.
Yeah.
He's this dude who works for this other guy, this bald guy who brought him there. And basically he tells him like, yo, you've made a deal. You don't remember because the whole deal was that you can't really remember the deal and till this point essentially. And he's like, I would never agree to that bullshit. Like there's no
Yeah.
fucking way. And he's like, well, you did, and I'll prove it. But first, you need to know you have to kill this dude, Odysseus. Odysseus?
Odysseus. Yeah.
Yeah, Odysseus. Yeah. So he's like, what the fuck? And who the fuck is this dude? And basically, though, he's like, you need to know you're compromised. All of your hideouts are fucked. Odysseus is coming for you. like all your hideouts have been compromised, all your bank accounts, even the hidden ones, are compromised. And I have a feeling Tiggs, who you're thinking about, is the reason they figured out who you were. And yes, I know who Tiggs is what Red Fury says, because only two people know who
Yeah.
they only know who each other are, and he tells them his government name, which is Benjamin Williams, and that kind of draws a flag to Deathstroke. And basically, he's in this blown up fucking building of his as a hideout, and he's like getting told all this info as he wakes up. Like, pretty much, he's also young again, by the way, and he has his eye.
Yeah.
He wakes up completely healed, and like his eye is like there because he doesn't usually have an eye. Long story short, dude, all these dudes show up to beat his ass. He ends up killing like 200 something fucking agents, dude, and it's a bloodbath. Like, just like they're showing him shove. So like that's what I love about this though. It's not just like a head getting stabbed. There's like brain matter
Yeah.
flying out of their skull, and I'm like, I shouldn't be hyped on that, but I am, because I'm like, oh my god, dude, this is not a children's book, and it's superhero. It's like you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's a bad guy dealing like. It's like Deathstroke is a bad guy, but he's taking out a worse guy.
Yeah.
So, but basically, he gets through all these dudes. He like does this crazy shit, and he has his truth serum. I forgot to mention that Red Fury gives him a truth serum, and he's like, "This will bring back your memory, so you know I'm at least not lying about making a deal." You know what I mean? Like, you'll at least remember that. And he's like, he finds his last soldier that he hasn't killed, and he starts talking to him, and the dude's speaking like old Greek or some shit like that. And he's like, because Odysseus, you know what I mean? Now it makes sense to me that you told me. Tell everybody who Odysseus is in history.
Odysseus is the king of Ithaca, and which Ithaca is one of the what do they call it? City state in Greece, and he's basically the inventor of the Trojan horse.
Yes. So that's why he was speaking Greek. And he's like,
Yeah.
oh, I can fix this. He's like, I'll just give you a truth serum. So he pours the truth serum down his throat, and he starts speaking English, and he's like, I will never tell you, like, who my... he's like, I am my lord Odysseus's eyes. He sees you as I see you. Or some shit. And like, and because he thought it was poison, so that's kind of also why he tested it on that guy. And then he basically realizes, like, holy shit, like, one, I need to figure out if Angelic is alive, because Opossum, I forgot to say, Possum came back to life before, like, he woke up in that blown up building.
Yeah.
He punched the shit out of her, and it looked like she died. It looked like her face caved the fuck in.
Ooh.
Because she's human. She's not like a mutant. But he's like, basically, I got to figure out what's up with her. I got to figure out what's up with Odysseus. And then he has a flashback because he's like, I'm going to take the truth serum. It's clearly not poison, and I need to figure out, like, where I'm going. And to sum up all this bullshit, he has a flashback, and he's fighting, a bunch of fighting, and then he sees his son Jericho, like, imprisoned. Like in a shot collar and shit. And he freaks out, and that's basically, like, the end. That's the end of the second book.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, not gonna lie to you. I think, like, you made a good point the other night. I need to be a little harder on everything. I personally think the art's 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Even though I just said that. I 100% believe the art is 10 out of 10. Like, that was the main reason I wanted it. I immediately read 2 books back to back because, like, it was easy. You know, it was so easy to look at, dude. There's like, there's so many full page and like 2-page panels that are like, and Tony Daniels did such a good job with just like really showing you like kind of a weakness to Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Which made the writing good. It made him like not completely it's like, oh shit, like Red Fury's people, whoever he works for, can get to Deathstroke, and they know who Deathstroke is.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, he's not unstoppable. You know what I mean? I like when they have an Achilles heel to a certain extent. You know what I mean?
Achilles heel.
Yeah, Achilles heel or whatever. I,
Achilles.
you know what I fucking meant,
Yeah,
man.
I know. I'm
Uh,
sorry. It drives me nuts when they mispronounce names like that. So
I don't care. You know what I fucking meant. Either way, it's nice to see that they have a breaking point and are able to
yeah,
get fucked. But I would recommend this as a like never read Deathstroke before. It kind of like fills all the basis of what you need to know. You know what I mean? He was a merc for
yeah,
hire, a badass. He got mutant testing done, and he also like he pulls. I see why people say Deadpool's kind of a knockoff because he constantly like hurts himself to win fights. Like like he constantly takes blows and like bullets to the back. Like because like in
yeah,
one panel that was awesome. It's one of my favorite panels. It's not even a big one. It's just like a picture of him like leaning forward after like getting in this fight, and he just literally has like a chunk of his head like missing like a line through it because he got
yeah,
shot in the top of his head. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? And then he just drops to the ground, and then he
yeah,
wakes up in that place. And it was good though. I'm
yeah.
definitely gonna read the rest tomorrow. I think I'm gonna literally just read the other 5 books or whatever, or at least most of it. Get it out the fucking way. Put it on the
Yeah,
shelf and know I read it. But I really
yeah,
recommend it, dude. I honestly, you only have the Marvel app, right?
yeah. If DC has one, please send it by.
They do have an app.
Okay, great.
I'm pretty positive they have an app. I'm like I'm almost like 100% sure DC has a comic app. There's no way they're like letting everybody else compete with them.
Yeah, and um, oh, one other interesting fact that I kind of forgot. Odysseus is also the father of atheism
Okay,
because he
that
was the
kind of
first. Yeah.
that kind of adds up because Odysseus has like a bunch, like all of those like agents or like whatever you want to call them that he killed.
Yeah.
They were all followers of Odysseus. Like
Yeah.
they kind of like they genuinely seem like he was like their figurehead, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He was the first man to say, "I will go up against the will of the gods," and that's what leads to the whole Odyssey.
Okay, hell yeah. Well, I like to know Deathstroke pulled it, like the whole thing is
They
pulled
pulled
from.
from Greek myth.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and it's very blatant, like
It's
down to.
also interesting that you mentioned that Deathstroke having that Achilles heel because Achilles and Odysseus were actually like friends, at least in the Iliad, because like Agamemnon had to send Odysseus to convince Achilles and the Myrmidons to join the Greeks to invade
Yeah,
Troy.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, damn, dude. I really do think though, next time you're over here, you should. If I'm done with it by then, maybe borrow it,
Sure,
or go to Second and Charles.
and
The
buy
one.
my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it's a really good starting point. Like,
Yes.
I think it. If you don't mind, like it being like gory, which I doubt you do.
I don't. The
Nah.
more gore in comic books, the better, in my opinion.
I
Like,
fucking agree, dude. He fucking straight up like suicide bombs himself to kill like 100 something dudes, and I'm like, you're a madman, dude. Like he just doesn't care. He's like, I'll be okay.
yeah, I mean, in Ron Perlman's voice, I'll be fine.
That ass though, dude. Like it's like what the fuck, man.
And
Like
also, like in Teen Titans, I almost got the impression that Deathstroke at one point was like part of the Bat family, like hence his obsession with Robin.
oh yeah, 100%.
Like, but I don't know how true that is, but that was just my impression. Like he was like one of the older Robins that kind of just like went psycho.
Dude, I could see that. I could definitely see Deathstroke being an older Robin because he has such a like this grudge towards fucking other Robin and
Yeah,
fucking it's just like it's not chill. Like it's
or he
pretty
was just
fun.
like at one point He's like fucking the kid in The Incredibles, just trying to be Incredible, and like Batman's like, no.
Well, dude, spoiler alert. I opened a page and it looked like Deathstroke was fighting Batman in this book.
Okay.
It might have
Maybe
just been.
maybe that maybe that might
It might have been a cover though. You know what I mean? Because it's like
yeah.
the trade paperback, so it could have just been a
Yeah.
cover. But fucking, I saw that and was like, I don't know if I was supposed to see that or not, but I need to read this right now.
It's like I'm here for it.
I love Batman. I love Deathstroke. I love DC. I definitely
Yeah.
I hone DC like with the next topic. This kind of like other than one character in that I'm gonna bring up is I mean he's still street level, but he's more scientific than anything.
Yeah.
I like DC because I feel like they do for some reason kind of like stay in their cities. I mean obviously the Justice League and shit goes like
Yeah.
off planet, but it's like there's so much street stuff going on in Gotham.
Yeah. And
And same with
it's
fucking
also
Batman Beyond, you know, even
yeah,
in New Gotham, it's fucking
they're sky level. You know what I'm saying? Like
No, I agree. Because in the new book there's old Gotham which is below.
yes.
They've just built up. And but that being said though, I read a post the other day on Twitter and it said red pill Scarecrow, blue pill Freeze. And I personally feel like it's not a fair comparison.
No.
I, f-
Not at all.
I feel like when you go and watch a Freeze episode or read like One Bad Day with Dr. Freeze.
Yeah, Dr. Freeze.
Yeah,
Or Mr. Freeze, I
yeah,
guess.
Mr. Freeze. Yeah, you're looking for a different vibe than you are for going and reading a Scarecrow book or
Yeah.
watching a Scarecrow episode or watching that Dark Knight movie. It's like it's like one, and you can give your opinion after me if you
Yeah,
want. Scarecrow is like I'm looking for this chaotic nonsense psychopath who is by chance smart as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he by chance is smart as fuck. But then you get Mr. Freeze and it's like this is like madness that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like he has a burning passion for the woman he lost and his madness kind of has some sense to it compared to where like Scarecrow you're just kind of hoping he tries to take over the city and make chaos of Batman's life. Where Mr. Freeze it kind of seems like he's not really trying to fuck with Batman.
Yeah.
He's trying to get his justice in his own way. Like
Yep. What I was gonna say is that like Scarecrow is solidly a villain because like
oh,
he
100%.
he has no redeeming qualities basically as like a
Fuck
human being.
no.
He sees humans as test subjects for whatever whatever fear toxin that he's trying to develop.
He's a dialed down Joker.
Yeah, because he's all about like if I remember his backstory correctly, his father was a psychiatrist who specialized in phobias and trying to figure out what makes people tick, like as far as like why they're afraid of shit. And they did a bunch of like experiments on him that were questionable and
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
unethical. And his villainy is strictly just to fear and panic and like disrupt people's lives. Mr. Freeze isn't in my book, in my mind at least. Villain is a very hard word for him. He's more of like a criminal who is doing criminal things, but there's this underlying subtext of like the greater good going on with him, at least
Well,
as far as like
it also
trying to cure this disease, you know?
yeah, I was about to say it also depends what alliteration you go with, because at the beginning of the animated series, it's strictly you killed my wife. I'm
Yeah,
getting justice, and then he gets hemmed up, and then it goes from there.
yeah,
Where, like, and that is where it's like, is he a villain, or is he just
yeah,
a guy who is driven mad by an unjust situation? You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Because he
And
like, because
it's almost
every,
like,
because here, real
sorry.
quick though, doesn't it? Isn't it kind of like an ongoing thing that like he like watched his wife die like in every alliteration almost like in a sense.
Well, she she has a terminal illness that requires him to keep her frozen until he can find a
Yeah,
cure.
that's what it is. Yeah.
So, which again, like keeping somebody who is terminally ill like that in that state where she's neither living nor dead, um, is it ethically uh is it's an ethical question. It's like keeping your dog alive when you know that you should just let go. It's the
Yeah,
inability to
yeah.
let that person go, and
I'm just
that's a very human emotion to have. Whereas with
Scarecrow is just about
Scarecrow,
being a
there
test
is no
subject.
human. Yeah, there's no humanity there. There's no empathy. You don't. He doesn't feel like humans are have people with feelings, whereas like Mr. Freeze, he almost doesn't want to freeze people. He does it because he kind of has to, because they're getting in the
You
way of this greater goal.
you know why I don't strictly read Joker? It's because of the madness issue. It's not an
Yeah,
issue. It's not an issue. I love it. Joker is one of my favorite villains by far. But I like there to be this deeper attachment than fuck Batman. You know what I
yeah, or
mean?
just fuck Gotham or fuck the
But
world.
but it's like at times I do love it though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like there is times where I'm like, dude, I need the Joker to literally just make Bruce Wayne's life a shit show. It's
yeah,
awesome. Like
yeah,
you know what I mean? And it's terrible too because as a Batman fan, you don't want to see old Brucey Batsy boy go through hell and back, but you're like, I need you to,
you
bro.
need you to, because like
That's who he
I've
is.
oh
That's who he
yeah,
is. He watched his. He literally. If anybody watched their parents die, it was Bruce Wayne,
yeah,
and and it's really like that's why watching him go through hell and back is good because it's like ultimately nothing is hell. None
yeah,
of that.
nothing.
None of that is really taking the cake for him watching his parents just get shot in front of him and
Yeah,
being
like
helpless.
it's like saying that
That's actually very deep and dark if you think about it.
yeah. And
Bruce
also
Wayne needs a fucking therapist, dude.
yeah, no shit. I think one of his girlfriends was a therapist at one point.
No wonder he kept Alfred around. If he didn't have
Yeah.
somebody to talk to and release some of this shit to, he would have fucking
Mhm.
offed
Oh
himself.
yeah, and I honestly think that like Alfred
I'm telling you
in
right now. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think Alfred is hands down probably one of the best Batman characters, because like he's always in the background. You almost kind of get the feeling that there's more than this like master servant relationship going
You
on.
know
Like,
there's there's a
yeah,
run of comics where Alfred's the Joker.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Comics is like rule
Yeah,
34 of the
yeah.
internet.
Yeah, no, dude. Yeah, they did that though. They literally, it was like he put on a whole charade because he felt like Bruce needed an outlet for his parents.
Yeah.
So he created like a villain and like all this shit. It's actually really cool. I've never read it, but it seems cool. But no, back to that though. Back to Alfred and Bruce being depressed. If you really think about it, the animated series Batman is the perfect example as to if he didn't have Alfred, he would be fucked. And
Oh, yeah.
I have the prime example from season 1. I believe episode 3 is what it is with the when the penguin first shows up.
Yes.
It's episode 2 or 3. It's not 1. It's 2 or 3 or something like that. Um no, it's not the penguin. Free it's Mr. Freeze episode. He
Yeah,
would not have defeated Mr. Freeze without Alfred's soup.
yeah, without the chicken soup. Yeah,
Yeah, he literally boiled the boy. Like, I'm not lying though. Without
yeah,
Alfred, he would have not gotten that situation on hand because he was not prepared. And
yep.
what is Batman's fucking heel? What's his heel? Not being
Being
prepared.
prepared.
If
And
he's prepared, he wins. If he can't, it's a toss up. It is a
and it's
huge.
and it's also brilliant storytelling because in the beginning of the episode, like Alfred gives him the soup and he's like, "What is the cure for the common cold? It's chicken soup." Like that's something you wouldn't think about, like as a writer, like
No, dude.
using that,
No, but it was very Batman. It was
Yeah.
very. It was almost to me like a call to the old Batmans, like
Yes.
some gimmicky, funny, stupid, silly cops and robbers type shit.
Yeah.
You know, like
With the mat, with the
yeah,
wrestling
yeah,
mats. Yeah.
yes, dude, like 100% with the funny Batmobile and the spandex, with the
And
Jack Nicholson Joker, like you know what I'm saying. Um, but no, I truly do believe that you were saying this before we recorded. The animated Batman series is easily, hands down, the best Batman like animated or live action show, movie,
yeah.
whatever. And it's also just like in the top for 90s cartoons, like
Yeah.
shows in general actually.
There's this YouTube the guy who does like these video essays, and he did one. I have to pull it up, and I'm gonna send it to you after this.
Okay.
And they did a whole run of like Doctor Mr. Freeze being the most empathic villain because you feel the most for him. And one of the things that they did bring up that I fucking loved was that um they kind of give you like a general history of the animated series and like why it came into being and how it came in to like before they goes down
Yeah,
and breaks
yeah,
down the
yeah.
episodes.
It's like, yo, this is how they
Yeah.
got there.
And one of the things that he said was that one of the producers had taken a psychology class in college, and the professor brought up the fact that most of Batman's villains, no matter how extreme they are rooted in a real psychological disorder of some
Yeah,
sort. So
no,
like
I
you have the
mean,
Riddler being a malignant narcissist who can't help but leave clues behind, basically like take credit for his crimes.
yeah, like a
You
serial
have
killer.
yeah, like Ted Bundy, for instance. You have the Joker, who's just absolute chaos and madness and dissociative personality disorder and like BPD and all that. The Catwoman being kleptomaniac and stuff like that. So they took those ideas and applied it to the show. So when you each villain has a backstory, in that backstory is an explanation of why they're a villain, and it's
I
a real psychological thing.
I'm I'm curious on Harley Quinn's. I know
Harley Quinn
I
is
I
obsession.
okay, that's what I figured. I figured so. Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I will read the fuck out of some Harley Quinn. Like people people can call it a girl's book, whatever, but
No,
like
no,
there's some it's so fun. Like
and
she's so chaotic, dude. She literally has a pet fucking hyena. Like what
yeah,
more could you ask for? A bad shorty with a pet hyena and a giant hammer? Like on roller skates most of the time. She literally in the book I read recently, she fucking goes and joins a roller derby team.
yeah. I also loved how they took like they did it with Mr. Freeze and Harley Quinn. They took the backstory from the animated series and made it comic book canon.
Yeah,
So
no,
they were
cuz
like, this shit
well,
works.
well, to be clear, Harley Quinn was created in the animated
And
series.
that's what I'm saying. And
No,
she made the leap to the
yeah,
comic
yeah, yeah.
books.
I'm saying though, like she wasn't canon or anything until the animated
Yeah.
series.
And I loved the fact that even the comic book guys were like, "This show is awesome. We need to be
No,
doing that."
it's
you
fucking
know?
amazing, dude. It's so good. It's so fucking good, dude. I mean, the
I
whole
think.
cast was fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, and I think they got
Kevin,
a
rest in peace, Kevin Conroy, though, dude.
yes,
Fucking Batman
hardcore.
forever. Batman forever, dude. Down to Arkham Knight. Batman forever. Like, that dude, he did such a good job at displaying the dark, like, displaying the Batsy and then showing who Bruce Wayne was.
Yeah,
It was like, they were two different people, but they were the same. You
yeah,
know, like there was this
and
middle ground of like yin and yang that was just so good with Kevin Conroy that
yeah.
I truly don't think we'll get again.
No,
I think he's like, you know how people make the argument about the Beatles and like Tupac and Biggie,
yeah,
whatever, Beethoven. That's our Beethoven for nerds. Is Kevin
yeah,
Conroy. Kevin Conroy was like the first person, in my opinion, to really bring Batman from the comic books and Bruce Wayne from the
yeah,
comic books into one person in like a live or animated complex. He was the first.
yeah.
Like,
And I think he was hands down the best. A close second to me, and I know.
there's no close second. I won't let that fly here right now. There's no close second to Kevin Conroy.
Um,
There's a second, but it's not
yeah,
close.
it's. I mean, personally,
I mean, you can say
there's a huge
personally.
quotation in personally.
Nah, bro. While we're live, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Nah.
Um, I think Keaton Keaton did a good job of.
No, fucking Christian Bale did better than fucking Keaton. Get the fuck out of here. Christian Bale, 100. I don't care what any of the fucking haters say. Christian Bale murked the Dark Knight. He
Yeah,
literally was the Dark Knight. He literally was a great Bruce Wayne. You guys are all haters, and I'm sorry. The textbook answer, if you're gonna say that, is fucking him. I don't care what anybody says, bro. Keaton was good, but he was not fucking. I'm sorry, bro. His movies did not impact the whole world like fucking Christian Bale's Batman did.
I'll give you that. But
People who are
what
not into Batman were watching that movie. My grandmother took me to see that movie. My grandmother took me to see that movie, dude. With the
um
Joker. Rest in
yeah,
peace,
the
Heath
Dark Knight,
Ledger.
yeah.
Rest in
Um
peace.
what I was gonna say is that like Keaton did a good job of pulling off that like I mean, first of all, like when he shows up, like, I'm Batman, and it's just like, oh fuck. Like
No, dude,
yeah, he would scare the shit out of
I
but he
agreed.
also played Bruce Wayne as kind of slightly unbalanced. Like, like there were cracks in
Yeah.
the facade. Whereas Bale did a really good job of being like, as Bruce Wayne, you would never expect him to be Batman,
No,
but
100%. Like he
he
was.
nailed that. Conroy did a great job in that you never knew if Batman was his real personality or if Bruce Wayne was his personality. Like
That's fair.
who is he? It's not like who is he being in the moment. It's like who is he actually like
I
because
just get real tired of seeing people on fucking Reddit and Twitter be like Christian Bale's Batman was mid, and I was like, are you fucking stupid?
no, no, because like every time, like even when have I rewatched the scene where Gordon and him are taking the bomb to go out of the bay in Dark Knight Rises, and he's just like, it's the small things that count, like even like putting a jacket on a small boy and telling him that the world hadn't ended, and he just looks up and goes, Bruce Wayne, like
Yeah.
you know, because like Bale's Bruce Wayne was kind of an arrogant prick that you would never expect to do anything nice for anybody.
But
Like,
he
kind
did.
of. But he did. Like when he goes to the restaurant, and he's just like, oh, I'm pretty sure we can get two tables together. And he's like, how do you know that? He's like, because I own the place. right here, and then like the two escorts go and like jump in the pool or whatever, the fountain,
Yeah.
and he just gives zero fucks. Like,
No, dude. But dude, did the animated series Batman not do the same thing? Was he not a playboy who did not give a fuck?
actually, I think
No,
his
no,
Bruce
no.
Wayne was way more sympathetic.
No,
I think.
no, no, because he literally goes to a basketball game with two bitches around his arms. I remember the
Yeah,
scene. He was no, because even with the Catwoman shit, he was being a horn dog
yeah,
as Bruce Wayne and Batman.
and
He was
Batman.
he was getting double coochie before he knew. Before he knew she was Catwoman, and because she doesn't know he's Bruce Wayne yet
Yeah,
or at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't know he's Bruce Wayne, but he knows who Catwoman is.
yeah.
And before that, though, he was getting double time coochie. And she thought she was getting double time wiener. So don't sit here and tell me that boy was not Playboy
Oh
get the
no, no,
ass when
no.
he could. Because that one definitely was. I get what you're saying, sympathetic. I get that.
Like he
But,
was less of an asshole. Like I'll tell you the one
well,
that
this was the Dark Knight. Like, you
yeah,
know what I mean? Like,
because he was told by I think he was told by Alfred, like, you can't be a self-reclusive millionaire, just like, people are gonna suspect that you're up to shady shit. Like, you need to
yeah,
go out there and be,
a
billionaire
human.
playboy Bruce Wayne. So he's just like, all right, fine. You want me to be an asshole? I'll be an asshole. Like,
Yeah. He puts on his
uh,
big boy shoes and fucking
yeah.
goes and stomps around with his dick out.
But I tell you, the one I know you hate, Ben Flat,
Batflack.
Batflack. I will put Clooney lower than Batflack.
Who wouldn't?
Like Clooney
I
had
mean, Juju, listen. Nobody is sitting here wanting to talk about the bad of the
George.
Batman. No, I don't. That's not what I'm trying to do right now. We got like 20 more minutes. I'm not talking about Ben Affleck's Batman. Just not happening.
And I hated George Clooney as Batman. I would take Val Kilmer one more time around. Like, and even he was like kind of zero charisma. Like,
You know who would be good if he was younger? The guy who did Jon Snow. The guy who played Jon.
oh, what's his name? Kit Harington.
Yeah, if he was younger. I think he's a little too old.
Yeah, I yeah, I think it,
Christian Bale
he,
just has like a skinny, clean face, so he could pull off like
yeah.
the like 35, 40-year-old Batman.
Honestly, I was pleasantly surprised by Robert Pattinson.
You told me that. I need to watch it.
Yeah,
I haven't given it a chance, but after you telling me you liked it, I also saw a scene. I saw a fight scene in it that I was like, "Yo, that looks sick." It was him fighting some gang of dudes in like a fucking
in the night in the
in the
Iceberg Lounge,
yeah. That was exactly what it was. Typical.
and like, here's the thing, like, his his Batman is a Batman of very few words. So when he does say something, it has like a gravitas to it, because like for the most part he's just kind of just like silent and observant and like ready to just fuck people up. And I liked that. I liked that he wasn't like a mouthy Batman.
I could dig
And it
that.
um
I could possibly dig that. I'm not gonna lie though. John straight up said he got halfway through and turned it off. He was like, "This is not my
yeah.
Bat." He was like, "This is not my fucking Batman, brother. I'm sorry."
No, and I understand that. Like, and I'm also a big fan of movies that like nobody's really a big fan of. So, like, I get it. It's not for everybody, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, I
Um,
have a homie. I have a homie, Devin. He's one of my big Batman friends. Like me and him, when he comes
yeah,
over, we just talk about DC pretty much. He's a DC guy, and we literally just talk bullshit about like superheroes and mainly Batman though because he's a huge fanatic like me and you,
Yeah,
and he even said that movie he liked. He said he liked his interpretation of
yeah,
Batman.
and I'm telling you, this is the closest to like year one Batman I think we're gonna get because
That's also
it
what
is
he
an
said. That's also
yeah,
what he said, dude. I'm not gonna
yeah,
lie to
because
you.
it's an early Bruce Wayne. So he's a younger Bruce Wayne. He still hasn't kind of figured out the whole like Bruce Wayne part about being Batman. He's just more about his obsession with being Batman like all the time. You almost get the point like you almost get the impression that like if he was given the choice he'd be in the suit the entire time. You
Right.
know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he hasn't quite figured out that dichotomy of Bruce Wayne Batman. And
Okay.
that is an interesting take on an early Batman that I like. So, and again, it's not for everybody.
I mean, I'm
I
still gonna
don't.
give it a shot. I just
Yeah,
not looking forward to the Riddler. So I will say that. That's why I'll leave
I
that.
actually did not hate. There was one moment where like Paul Dano is the Riddler, is talking to Batman about like his Riddler shit,
Yeah.
and there was a moment where you kind of looked in his eyes and you were just like, yeah, this dude is like, fuck Paul Dano. This is closer to like what Jeffrey Dahmer would be like, you
Well,
know?
I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. When I watch it, I'm gonna give you my honest opinion, regardless of what
Yeah,
I like. I'm gonna be honest with you, cause like I'm not like the only thing I'm taking from this is that you finished the movie, so
yeah,
I will at least give it that. So I'm not going into it though with with higher expectations for the
no.
Riddler though. I'm not gonna
And
lie to you.
I did the same thing. Like going into it, I was like, everybody on the internet loved to shit on this movie because it's Edward Cullen, blah, 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 blah. I'm just going into it because I want a new Batman,
No, and
you know?
I get that. I don't
And
think
the
he's
car
gonna.
chase scene is fucking sick, by the way. I will say that.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I don't have high hopes that I'm gonna watch it and be like, "This is my Batman."
No. But I do
No,
think that
no. I'm being serious, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You can blow over that statement all you want, but
No, I get it. I get it.
I don't think this is gonna be the one that I'm like, "Yep,
Oh my god.
fuck Dark Knight. This is definitely what I'm watching
No, no.
twice a year."
Is it better than Dark Knight? No. No. No, no. No Batman movie going forward can ever be as good as that. I feel like. But if you go with that expectation, you'll be pleasantly surprised, I feel like.
That's cool. I'm gonna watch it, just not tonight. It's
Yeah,
fucking
no. No, not at
2:56
like
a.m.
yeah, no, no.
It is way too fucking late to start.
However, Colin Farrell as the Penguin was like I forgot he was Colin Farrell. like,
Okay, okay.
like I literally was just like, this guy reminds me of somebody I actually know, and it's not James Gandolfini, although he would have been a good Penguin in that.
All right. Well, I'm kind of hype. I'm kind of hype. I will let you know what I think.
Yeah,
But with that being said, dudes, it's been about 48 minutes, 50 minutes now. I think this is probably a good time to say our farewells
yes,
and see you guys next time. And I
hell yeah.
hope you guys have fun and you like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, never offended and always recommended, my dudes. Have a good day, night, wherever you are. Later.
Peace.